This is the Ottawa Senators Outlook. Here is your host, Jack Henry.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Opportunity Talk. I'm your host, Jack. This is my recap reaction to the Panthers game, so let's get right to it. So, the Senators needed a bounce-back effort, and they do not get anything close to it. They lose 5-1 to the Panthers. In the first period, Brady Tkachuk scores on the power play to make it 1-0 Ottawa. That's all after the first period. 40 minutes for the rest of the game, it's all Florida. Matthew Tkachuk on the power play to make it 1-1. Alexander Barkov scores to make it 2-1 Florida. Gustav Forsling makes it 3-1 Panthers. And then Sam Bennett makes it 4-1. And that is the end of the second. Florida scores 4 goals in that period. And then in the third period, Anton Lundell with an empty netter, which was actually shorthanded. So the Senators were 6-on-4 advantage for that. And that goes in for the Panthers 5-1. And that's their final score. So the goaltending matchup was Sergei Bobrovsky versus Linus Ullmark. And Ullmark giving up 4 goals, and he still had a decent save percentage. He was peppered with shots. He stopped 43 of 47 for a .915 save percentage, and Bobrovsky didn't really need to do much. He stopped only 26 of 27 for a .963 save percentage, and not really much to say other than the Senators putting out another lazy effort. You needed to get at least 1 win, maybe 2, over the 3-game stretch in the state of Florida, 2 against the Lightning, the other one against the Panthers. They get embarrassed in all 3 of them. I know one of them was 4-3 Lightning, but I said it in that video, like, we were pretty lazy, and then the previous 2 games that we played, this one and the second Lightning game, we lost 5-1. I mean, what's with that? The Senators just, I understand there are injuries with this team, but they have to overcome that, and like the 11 forwards and 7 defensemen, it just clearly didn't work, especially when Mountain Paulo wasn't getting as many minutes for Travis Hamonic. I mean, at this point with Travis Hamonic, I mean, I can't even blame him anymore because he's not the one inserting himself into the lineup. So we know what he's about. He's a weak link on the team defensively. But at the end of the day, Travis Green and the coaching staff is the one that's putting him out there. He had some very lazy efforts, especially in this game. He almost gifted the Panthers a goal. He tried to clear it out, but it went right to the Panthers in front of wide open ice in front of Ullmark. I mean, what's with that? And, again, scoring chances as well. I mean, Senators definitely lack those. I saw one with Drake Batherson trying to get fancy on it, a little toe drag, something stupid, and obviously didn't work. The defenseman was able to set himself up properly instead of just going for the shot. I mean, shooting chances for the Senators have been horrid this year. Their offense has not been good this year as a whole, but they need to find a way to figure that out because going back from the Four Nations break, there's a huge game for the Senators for the taking. They have Montreal, then they have Chicago, San Jose, like 3 of the 4 games, I believe, or something like that. I didn't really check the schedule, to be quite honest with you, but those are games that the Senators should be taking advantage of. So once they come back from the Four Nations break, most likely with Shane Pinto, we'll see on Josh Norris. Let's get some guys healthy over the next 2 weeks because that's when our next game is. Hopefully we get those guys back and we can be able to bounce back in a big and meaningful way because even though the Senators lost and now they are 29, 23, and 4, they still have 62 points. They are still sitting at the first wildcard position because the Red Wings lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning earlier today. And one other thing to note for the Ottawa Senators, if the season ends today and they are in the first wild card, they're playing the Panthers in the first round. So just leave it where you think you want to put it there. If they want to put out a terrible effort against the Panthers when they're the first wild card and they're probably playing Florida in the first round, yeah, that's not a good look, especially when Stapchuk said we're treating the 2 games in Tampa like playoff games, and they looked like they would have got swept if they played like that in the playoffs. So with the optimism, there's a little bit of nerves with it. As fans, I'm a little nervous to see how they would do. I'm not expecting much for them in the playoffs. I just really want them to make it, to be quite honest with you. And I still think they really can. They still have a very good chance of making it, especially since they've played horrid this past week. Hopefully they can use the Four Nations break to reset and they can come out fresh in 2 weeks against Montreal. So I'll just leave it like that. The Panthers with the win, by the way, are now 34-20-3, so they have a total of 71 points. that's all I really have to say for this one. So, like I said earlier in the video, the Four Nations Face-Off is now going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. This was the last game for the Senators until the end of the break. I may or may not have some recaps for the Four Nations Face-Off. I'm a little bit invested into it. I know it's like another international thing the NHL's trying to do. It's not going to be on the same level as the Olympics or whatnot, but it's a lot better than the All-Star game, let me tell you that. So I might put some recaps out there. I can talk about the rest of the league and how they're playing in the Four Nations Face-Off, because I'm pretty interested in seeing how that goes. And one last thing. I've been doing this the last couple of years. As most of you know, it is Super Bowl Sunday. I can confidently say this was the one matchup I don't think anybody wanted between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. 2 years ago, I was right here talking about this same matchup in Super Bowl 57, and I rooted for Kansas City, and I wanted them to win. I was picking them to win. This year is a little bit different. I am rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want them to win in general because I'm not a big fan of the Eagles. The Eagles beat my football team in the playoffs, but I'm just tired of the Chiefs, really. Unfortunately, even though I'm tired of the Chiefs, I do have them winning, unfortunately. I just think there's going to be something stupid where they're going to find a way to win. The refs, that's another conversation. I definitely think there's going to be a stupid call that goes in the Chiefs' favor that propels them to victory, but for all NFL fans, just fly, Eagles, fly. That's all I'm going to say here. So my heart is saying Eagles, but my head's saying Chiefs. That's how I'll put it. So that's all I got to say. So give me your thoughts on this game. Give me your thoughts on what you think about Four Nations Face-Off. Should I post some videos? And give me your thoughts on your Super Bowl predictions if you are interested in watching the NFL and the Super Bowl tomorrow. So that's all I have in this video. I'll leave it like that. Like and subscribe. But for now, this is Jack from the Ottawa Senators, and Go Sens Go.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Ottawa Senators Outlook. For more of this podcast, click on the videos on the left and subscribe by clicking on the icon on the right. Thank you.